attacking third. It was a thing of beauty. And he's in possession now. The assists, thing of beauty they've both been. Moreland just trying to refine their structure. De Santos. De Souza with some strength. Wanted to thread the needle back for his captain. Takes a touch and goes out of play.
We mentioned the benches tonight and how they might be a factor. I think this is where we're starting to see it, and it's why Milton Sakos might have called timeout, just to get some air back in the lungs before the break.
And speaking of the break, it's been in a flow state this opening half of round 10. And Hume and Moreland will enter the break even. 2 goals apiece as we cross to half-time.
We're the Champ Hunters Div 1 Tuesdays. We should not be in Div 1, but nevertheless, we lost 8-3 today, but we're missing Alex Beckers. Send him hate. If you know who he is, please send him hate, and that's it.
Well, that's exactly right, James. Going on with that. Our gaffer, we've had a gaffer, for the whole team, and then he hasn't rocked up. Last 2 weeks, Lucas Smarra, you know who you are. You better sleep with one eye open tonight because we're coming for you, mate. You better sleep with one eye open, Lucas Smarra. You know who you are.
I brought the boys over, and we're all former NPL players. If State League want to sign us, we thought we'd take our talents to futsalers, and
well, that's exactly right.
It's absolutely fantastic, and the place is an institution, so we thought we might as well. And that's that.
That's exactly right, James. That's it. It's not hard, it's just that we're struggling to find our feet. I think the lack of fitness is really affecting our team. Joining halfway through the season wasn't most ideal, but you know what? We've come across a couple wins, and we're doing decent within the team. There's a lot of politics within the team and problems here and there. When when you got families paying 7, 8, 9 grand, it's not on. But yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Well, for Social League Div 1, we thought this would be all right, but it's a much higher standard than we thought, and we're not quite equipped for it. But we're working on that.
Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're improving the arsenal, and we'll get there. We'll get there day by day. We'll adjust.
Unfinished business.
It's 2 words. Disappointment. But there's room for improvement, and that's it, man. That's it.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Signing off.
Signing off. James Daniel, starting captain, strikers.
Yeah, and send hate to Alex Beckers and Lucas Smarra.
Both playing groups start to enter their respective positions, 2 apiece. As we head into the second half, narratives unfolding all throughout the first, but right now for Hume FC, Fernando de Moraes on court with some final instruction upon his players. It wouldn't be much of an assumption to think that this truly is Hume's game of the year. Knowing that if they can find an upset victory against the champions, the motivation, the attitude, and the feeling it would give them around the club would be unparalleled. The Blues, on the other hand, need a victory to keep their title retention hopes somewhat alive in the last month of futsal. Ethan Rigg, this second half that could unfold has ramifications and possibilities of unimaginable heights on both ends for both sides.
Could perhaps be season defining for either of these teams if they were to get 3 points. For Hume, it would drag them off the foot of the league. It would drag them all the way up to 5th, right in those playoff places. For Moreland, they have to capitalise. It's a week where Fitzroy won't be able to reply as they've got the bye. They need to keep the gap at 5 points. If they don't, then it becomes a very tall order in the title race. And it's all on this, the second period of a Turkish entanglement, which has given us so much so far. The only question remaining is who wants to go and win it. Hume wanted to start brightly. Temel's ball cut out by Dos Santos. Atai Ibrahim for Adam Cooper. Pimenta, Milton Sakos saying set it up. Wanting his Moreland side perhaps to play with more patience. Suede went on the press, but Pimenta placed it back for Cooper. Dos Santos. Moreland taking their time. Ibrahim, Cooper with a loose touch.
Rarity from AC3. Hume back in possession, but very early signs from both benches. Each manager having a fair bit to say, wanting their message to be put into action.
Dos Santos with a good read. In ahead of Cicek. Didn't take too kindly to being collateral damage of that run. Cooper swept up well. Ibrahim went with loft for Kevin Dos Santos, but with too much pace. And for Moreland to have scored more than anybody else this season, over half a century of goals, they find themselves in a bit of a predicament. Level at the break. Last time these two played, they did trail Hume for a portion of that game. Perhaps those demons starting to play a factor. You can feel the ascendancy with the Black Army in this building. You can see the animation in the team talk from Fernando de Moraes and how his Hume team have really rallied. And Turkman picked up the loose one, but when trying to spin, Dos Santos ran out of room.
He knew that was a real possibility. Did Turkman. He was a bit upset with himself for not getting around his direct opponent. Yeah, Cicek also in support on that attacking scenario, but it goes begging for now.
Here is Turkman. Hume happy to slow it down. Suede. Temel. Trying to draw Dos Santos. Wanted to go the press. Pimenta obliged and nearly picked Suede's pocket. Atai Ibrahim had to read that perfectly. Otherwise, Turkman might have been in. That's how they want to go about it in this second half. Draw Moreland in and exploit the space behind. Temel with pace. Cicek's touch found Turkman. Switched it for Suede, who had an early hit. Cooper got in the way, and it ricocheted out for Dos Santos. Dropped it back for Atai Ibrahim. Just an early opening for Hamza Suede. Adam Cooper was well alert. Had to get himself in the way. Here he is once more. This time charging at Suede. Pimenta wasn't able to place it.
A lot more important than it might have appeared. Cooper's positioning. There was options queuing up at the back post for Hamza Suede. His pass was drilled in towards that direction. Cooper had the defensive prowess to know where to position himself and cause anything to not be damaging for his side.
Tidy touch from Ibrahim, and just as Dos Santos wanted to wriggle away, He was brought down, and Moreland will have a free kick. First of the second half. Adam Cooper, as we well know, certainly within range. It would be a Moreland mood lifter. Two in the Hume wall. Smith and Cicek. Murray just setting himself. Pimenta hovering. The Turkish derby filled with tension, not seen in some time. It will be Adam Cooper on for Pimenta, who wanted to set it back, but Smith's read was absolutely superb.
Getting a bit too fancy, perhaps, the Blues, from that set-piece routine. Perhaps can understand why Cooper would want to receive it back and take it on the flight, but he's the dead ball specialist. Perhaps it was too central to try and get around the wall. Ibrahim does nicely to find Dos Santos. Pimenta chipping, finding for KDS, who doesn't mind a bicycle, but it was in front of him. And the captain never opted to loft for a header. Settles for a corner. Pimenta off the volley. Murray saw it all the way. Gab Murray had to go. Goes for Cicek. Bounced up for UC7 as the ball just sits in the roof. It's another casualty. At this moment in time, we're running out of them, Ethan.
We've had a few this season, a few casualties. Just to add another to the list. Just on that move, you can see what Cicek wants to do. He wants to spin, almost draw and protect that space. And it's where they'll get a lot of joy, because Moreland are happy to leave it in behind. And Hume are looking to exploit it more now.
Smith's corner. Cicek earned it. Cooper cuts it off. Has KDS. Klanaris with a slide. Pimenta, first time for Ibrahim. Keeping the move fluid. Gets it back, the MVP. Takes it on. Flashes across the face of Murray's goal. Temel. Nadiadis has a glimpse upon the clock. Klanaris. Smith. Temel. Nice pass for Klanaris central. Cicek doesn't have to keep it alive. Pimenta does really well. It bounces back towards him. Murray has a look at the MVP, who looked like he was in a bit of pain. The Hume bench wanted the goalkeeper to play on, but sportsmanship coming into play from the Queenslander.
That's good from Murray to not want to go quickly. Enrique Pimenta seemed to be in some discomfort, and it rounds out a terrific move from him. The first save is a really good one-on-one. The second is a scramble, and he gets there just in time. Pimenta on the slide, might have worn some collateral damage, but he seems to be all right.
Cicek was confined, the space he had to work within. Ibrahim has a deep side ball for the Blues. Pimenta wasn't too far away, and another situation, Ethan. Wouldn't put it past him to score from there. It was very fantastic goalkeeping from Murray. Cooper, lots of pace in the ball for Pimenta, who threw himself at it to try connect.
I don't mind that from Adam Cooper whatsoever. Sees that the ball is on early. It's the only time he can play it. He's played with a lot of pace. He might not be too happy about it himself, but Pimenta, if he just readjusts himself and gets a flick on it, it could have been quite troubling.
And there's a spin. It's been spoken about from UC7. Manufactures yet another Hume corner. Only Sahin to aim for. And now on the transition. The Santos falters back for Cooper. The Blues looking to build. Ibrahim. Hume doing a good job of just following the ball and not allowing for the Blues to carve them open.
Temel read well. Dos Santos charging at him. Steered it round the corner for Cicek, who took a tumble. Sahin lost out to Cooper. Pimenta. Dos Santos wanted to go around Temel, who tackled terrifically. Timed it to perfection, and now Murray wants to go. Sahin, who was starved of options, returned it for Temel. Adam Cooper now the highest. Cicek with a tidy touch, and Sahin just had it a bit too heavy, but what a lovely little roll.
That was fluid. Very fluid from Mo Tamil. The touch from Cicek equal to the pass. Got a bit conducive in the end for Saheen to control, but you like that move from a Hume perspective. As they reintroduce both Kawuglu and Ramadan, both having, we can't understate it, a very decent performance as a collective tonight for their side.
Gab Murray, pressed by Cooper, venture cut short. Saheen steered it into Ramadan wonderfully. Still wants to roll Ibrahim. Couldn't quite squeeze it through to Klanaris, and Apostolakis came to mop up. Dos Santos, Cooper, Hume on the high press. Kevin Dos Santos, Ibrahim, and again Moreland just calm it down. Pimenta, Cooper, Dos Santos. Cooper stole a yard, fizzed it across, and Pimenta couldn't apply a touch. Much more methodical from the reigning champions. Hit across with pace from Cooper. Perhaps too much pace for Pimenta.
Lots of patience in the move. Pimenta just arriving a touch too late, but if the Blues are to play more like that, that's them at their best. And no matter which side they might come up against, if they're showcasing passages like such, Ethan, you can't put it past them to be unplayable.
Klanaris' touch was loose. Cooper's side ball for Dos Santos, and Murray got a palm and had to beat it away.
Saw it late. Did the Queenslander. The height perhaps helping him just push it away.
Cooper for Pimenta, who went low, again through bodies. And again, the Murray makes a good stop. Had to get inventive. Similarly, in the first half, he did so too. Dos Santos to Cooper, and the press was too hot to handle. Saheen steered it round the corner for Ramadan, who wanted to roll Dos Santos. Klanaris, Saheen has steered it wide. Oh, what a look! What a look that was! Ramadan did wonderfully. Klanaris the decoy, and Saheen had the back stick all to himself.
Electric, there's fire and smoke coming off the number 9 for Hume. Everything he's touching offensively, really causing headaches for the Blues.
Dos Santos the other way, wins a free kick. To a bit of Black Army protest, and Ramadan for it will find himself with a yellow card.
And how that might just calm him down, considering he's really been a thorn in the Moreland Blues side tonight. And Saheen was only inches away. He went towards Apostolakis' near post rather than going across the keeper. And although the man in green might have been beaten, his posts weren't. It was great positioning from the shot stopper.
Moreland with a chance now to make Hume rue their misses. Atai Ibrahim. Klanaris, the sole wall member. Atai Ibrahim's free kick. Murray again makes himself big.
Pimenta restarts it. Dos Santos, Ibrahim tries to take on the game. Sweeping was Murray. Right off his line, the red wiggle.
He's had a very good few minutes as well. For someone who was as unfortunate as he was in the first half, to not let it get to him and has now come up with some massive moments is just showing the calibre of keeper that he's becoming.
Ibrahim went inroads. Badagos was there to help his teammate. Apostolakis over the top. Wheeling to try latch on was Badagos, although ran out of court. Ramadan trying to control it. Ibrahim now trying to contain the Hume number 9. Dos Santos backs into Klanaris before finding Pimenta. Here is KDS moving on that natural flank. Brilliant run from KDS. Ibrahim onto his left. Wasn't exactly a shot nor a cross from Ibrahim, and Badagos was outstretched to try get onto the ball. As Turpman was causing some headaches for KDS, and in fact has earned a Hume side ball.
And that's more like it, though, from Moreland again. You've seen tonight they're at their best when Dos Santos is driving. It brings in Pimenta and Ibrahim then in the space. Baragos on that occasion, not able to get on the end of it.
Saheen deflects, Kawuglu controls. Turkman, Klanaris, back to Turkman in some distance. Pastelakis with a juggle, then a claim. KDS, of course, renowned for how he navigates confined spaces. Has so much acceleration, no centre of gravity. Really teasing with his footwork. Baragos, Ibrahim. Trying to go really direct are the Blues. Murray saw it all the way. Turkman with a real slip. Baragos with a snapshot. You could see the Hume number 8, Ethan, just stutter initially and then slip completely.
And it's nearly a moment he'd like to forget for Imran Turkman, who's had a very good game tonight. And it's where Moreland, to be honest, have looked most threatening. When Hume have made the errors, the big thing the Blues have done is pick it off so well.
Saheen had a hit, and Turkman and Baragos having a slight coming together. Very Petrikis will just play peacemaker. Hasn't had the makings to bubble over, but both players coming together, and will both be in the book.
Can never count it out, can you? Not in a game like this. Not when the stakes get higher as the minutes tick by. Miguel Baragos, you could see the frustration, really. In his reaction, it was very animated. Turkman might have had a moment of rashness, but completely cooled himself down. And right now, it's almost a microcosm of the two teams. Moreland are letting some frustration show, whereas Hume are trying to keep their heads because they understand that's where the chances come from.
And it's showcased in the facial expressions of Fernando de Moraes. He has not blinked. Really sensing an opportunity for his new employer. Ibrahim threads the needle. Pimenta nipping at the heels of Turkman. Temel. Turkman was at the back post waiting. Pastelakis swiftly off his line to just intervene in the nick of time. Baragos. Pimenta. Ibrahim chipping. Lofting with Smith to prevent the pass. Saheen, now Temel advancing up the court, the captain. Brilliant ball! And Ned Saheen is there to steer it home, and Hume steer themselves in front.
Brilliant move. An absolutely excellent ball from Temel, who just carved the Moreland defence open. Saheen timed his run to perfection. And it's been coming. It's been coming. Hume in the second half have created a few more dangerous situations for themselves. They've finally taken one. And it's Saheen at the pack post with a storming run and a brilliant finish to have them ahead. And Pimenta's looking for a quick reply. Well, Temel collected all of it in his clearance. And the froth mop's required. An unbelievable sequence in this game, perhaps a season turner for both of these sides. As it stands, Hume are out of the drop zone. They're in the playoff places, and Moreland are 8 adrift of the top of the tree. Time's running out, week by week, and the months have flown by with it too. You got the feeling they had to be perfect, and now that metal is going to be tested. It's going to be reformed. Perhaps might have to be twisted a bit in order for some refinement. Cooper went searching for Atay Ibrahim, whose touch was delightful. Swade wasn't able to make the challenge stick. Ibrahim cycled for Cooper. To Souza. Moreland again slow it down. They were in this situation last time, and Ibrahim stolen a yard. De Souza was hurdling, but couldn't get a touch.
Cooper's movement central, just had Hamza Swade a bit confused. And once Hamza had to readjust, Ibrahim had the right side to infiltrate, and he was not far away at all from finding the back of the net.
Cicek warded off Baragos. Temmel. On for Cicek once more. And Hamza Suede's down.
Clutching the lower part of his stomach. It's Hamza Suede. And well, the crown jewels. It's exactly what he was just trying to contain. All in good spirit, Hamza Suede, but he's got both his hands at the back of his head, just trying to suck in as much air as he can.
Wearing one right where you don't want to. Hamza Suede, and he's certainly taking a breather as a result. Temmel resumes it. Smith's touch was tidy, but Ibrahim just warded off Clanaris. Hume just starting to get a real grip on this game now. Moreland chances coming fewer and further between. Cooper. Again the high press. And again give it away. Temmel with a nice nod. Clanaris forced to slow it down. He couldn't quite get it out of his feet. Smith was up with him. Temmel. Clanaris. This time Cicek. Couldn't get around Barakli. That was almost another sliding doors moment.
Hume behind the ball. Flawless, considering they've really made Moreland work. Could see in that previous passage defensively, Ibrahim and Cooper were very far from each other and had to move the ball at such pace to find one another. And they've had to go long time and time again.
Ty Ibrahim, again they press high. This time Cooper returns it! And Temmel got a deflection, and Murray made a save. Smith wanted a Thornbury on Cooper. And just as Clanaris was about to clatter it into us, he ran out of room.
That time where the Blues have been now pushing up since that idea of going long. Ibrahim's had a couple of looks, and you feel like he's getting closer and closer to finding the back of the net.
Certainly looked the most likely. Moreland now surging. Adam Cooper. Not around Smith. Atai Ibrahim. Bayrakli had stormed. Kelshaw kept the door shut. Found its way out to Bayrakli. On for Cooper. De Souza.
Oh,
And they'll have a corner. Smith on the slide.
he wasn't sure where the ball went. Murray had no idea where the ball had gone. It deflected onto the post. De Souza's cross. Bit aimless. Smith over the top. Apostolakis off his line. Cicek was rampant to get there. And Apostolakis had to intervene.
Just for a second, Ubedi Cicek thought he might have been in to give them some breathing room, but Apostolakis timed it to perfection to make sure not only he got to clear it, but didn't risk taking out Hume's number 7 either.
Kelshaw, Cicek, Smith a bit heavy on the touch to Souza to mop things up. Apostolakis had to go. Question mark really on the clock, and there's a healthy amount of futsal left. Hume, I'm sure, wanted to go quickly. The Blues want to get back in this game now on either clock. Cicek, Temmel. Slides on to his right. Smith. Try the ambitious pass. The Blues will now try and manufacture a move of their own. Ibrahim. Cooper. Barakli. Can he provide that spark for the champions? Cooper. Taking it on. Ibrahim was the target. Murray imposing himself again. Releases for Kelshaw. Keeps it alive. Steps in onto his left. Blocked by De Souza. Smith for Kelshaw. De Souza in the way once more.
Two really big reads from Robson. De Souza. I love the run from Smith. Just really busts a gut to get himself forward. And then when you think he's lost it, Kelshaw does the right thing on the overlap and gives him another look.
And Kelshaw could have advanced forwards. Goes backwards rather. Or Temmel, Cicek. The spin got heavy. Ibrahim puts in a challenge, and Hume have another corner.
That's where they're getting so much joy as well. They're able to use Kelshaw and Cicek in between the lines. And it doesn't draw Ibrahim until it's the last second. Doesn't draw Cooper until it's the last second. And it just opens up a yard from range if it is on for them to have a strike at goal.
Cicek finds Temmel. Went for placement. Cooper got in the way. The next few minutes, of course, we can't over-exaggerate how important they are for both sides. The Blues need a win, in all honesty, to keep their title retention hopes intact. Hume want to get off the bottom of the automatic relegation position, considering how tight the bottom end of the table is becoming. How a point would put them in good stead, or the 3 points, rather, would shape them in the last month of futsal for the calendar year. Temel, Kelshaw, not around Cooper. Here goes AC3, has the support of D'Souza. The Blues have an equaliser. It was like clockwork from Adam Cooper. And the man from New South Wales had the simple task to turn it home. The champions with a move personifying of an equaliser.
Brilliant read from Adam Cooper. Was ready to really smash into the challenge on the turn. Wins the ball, does well not to foul. And the footwork is fantastic to just trickle his way in and out of two. D'Souza does the right thing with the late run and gets himself another goal. Perhaps one of the more important goals of Moreland's season so far.
It's lifted tonight, as AC3. It's in a great position to get the ball back and be so damaging with it. And how it sapped the energy right from the Hume bench. Can they formulate a response of their own? Ramadan now has an opportunity. Had to work with the angle. Pastelakis was sprightly off his line to prevent Ramadan from being damaging.
A couple of protests, and Hume, in fact, will have a corner. Took a touch off Apostolakis, who made the save just to be sure at his near post. Kelshaw had nobody going. Ramadan was the late run. D'Souza in the way. Cooper escorted it back to Apostolakis. Now gets it from Robson D'Souza. When searching for Bayrakli, who dropped off. Murray for Ramadan.
Oh.
He's wanted to turn away from two, only turned into Cooper. D'Souza, Bayrakli, and Robson D'Souza stumbled, and now Murray's on the march. Ramadan up with him, but it's too heavy.
And it must be said, Robson D'Souza has played one of his best games tonight when he's been on. He's been strong, he's been smart with the ball, he's been imposing offensively. Seeing him at his best.
That's Ibrahim. Shout is to stay back post for Robson D'Souza. Milton Sakos really drilling the message in to his side stop scorer. Bayrakli with a loose touch. Turkman tiptoed and was fouled. And it just takes the sting out of it. Hume don't mind it slowing down a little bit. Just as Moreland have got the ascendancy back. Ramadan against Spun Cooper, and Apostolakis had to intervene as it was hurtling.
What else can we really say about Lockie Ramadan tonight? He's just really come into this game with an appetite. And he's been very bothersome. Pastelakis was expert there to just guide the ball away and react swiftly.
Clanaris from the side ball. And he turned it into the side netting. You can feel the tension in this game now. Everything hinging on the final few moments. Smashing ball from Ibrahim. Cooper's got the yards. Murray made the save. Ramadan now wants to go the other way. Around Bayrakli. D'Souza wanted to lend a hand. And Michael Clanaris fires into Apostolakis. What a moment. And what a look it could have been. Ibrahim. Lovely again. Pimenta. Murray off his line. Robson D'Souza. Big stop from the Queenslander, who is down. Moreland stopped. And the whistle now comes.
Oh, he wore that. Murray wore that completely. D'Souza went full bar of power. And his shot ricocheted off the chest of Murray, who is wearing it right now. It was a brilliant save. His body firmly on the line. D'Souza, yet again, another scenario where you wouldn't put it past the Moreland Blue to score. The keeping from Murray in recent weeks has been absolutely top shelf. And bloody courageous as he remains on the tarmac right now. Linus Burtress warming up. He might be called upon here for Hume.
Don't just think he's had the wind knocked out of him. Fernando Di Marais testing for cramp as well. Just giving Gab Murray a shake. He's had a bit to do this evening and have done it rather well. All seems to be okay for the Hume shot stopper. As we just have a breather. Both of these teams reloading. And Milton Sakos making the case the game has stopped, and that if he's been down for this long, maybe he requires treatment. But Gab Murray's back on his feet. Yet more Moreland discomfort, yet more Moreland conversation.
The Blues right now, they know they have the ascendancy. They know they have the momentum. That's why they're not pleased with the game just coming to a halt. Pastelakis and Sakos just saying the player has to be treated. He has to come off. Murray hadn't. And that's why they've got a bit of displeasure right now. 3 goals apiece. Nice way to start round 10. Hume have not defeated Moreland in some time. Ethan has the stats. Nearly going on to 3 years. The Black Army have claims. The Blues have the quality. Pimenta, chipping ball. Temple cuts it off. Saheen, the most recent goal scorer for those in white. Smith teasing with the ball. Back heeling for Clenaris. And ultimately turning over possession.
Perhaps just a little bit of inexperience there for Smith. Shot himself into it. He created a hole for himself really and then wasn't able to get out of it.
Cooper had half a yard. And even attribute Smith and his game style, Ethan, to being too intelligent with the ball and trying to perhaps do too much, as he had done in that scenario. He's in possession now. Temel flicking. Ibrahim now has space and the cavalry. KDS readjusts his position. A massive slide from Ned Saheen. Pimenta thought his head to apply the finishing touch. Insert Najet Saheen. Pimenta's corner. Ibrahim's control. Off the volley, it's a brilliant save from Murray. He follows up again like Superman. As Cooper through the traffic to Santos. Again, it's Murray off the line somehow. Ibrahim takes it on. That is unbelievable goalkeeping from the man in red.
Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. But he's not done yet.
Ibrahim receives from the corner. Shifts around his direct opponent. Clenaris comes in to intervene. Murray with a brilliant feat of goalkeeping. Almost unmatched here in Darebin. Pimenta blocked by Smith. He had no right to follow up the way he did there. Reaction times like a cat. Stupendous. Here is Pimenta. Slide from Ned Saheen was premature. Ibrahim, lateral for Cooper. Took it on, it took a deflection. And Hume will have a free kick.
Clenaris was impeded, but Gab Murray, the first save is out of this world, by the way. What a stop that is. The second to recover and then to sprawl himself and make the third in a matter of seconds. That is why he was named Futsal Player of the Year in Queensland. Unbelievable goalkeeping. It's magnificent and it might be a match changer.
Sliding doors moments. Chichek nearly for Saheen. Ibrahim back for Pimenta. To Santos. Sitting down Smith. Cicek takes charge. 3 against 3 in this counter move for Hume. Cicek into Pimenta. Well, the Hume bench with some voice of their own. It's really starting to hit the ceiling in terms of where this game is bubbling to.
You can feel it. Every single challenge now is one which is contested, protested to the nth degree. Fernando de Moraes thought about it momentarily with the timeout slip. 3.5. As Cicek had to take a deflection. Down the stretch. This is where seasons are defined. And in this particular fixture, where sultans, where rulers are crowned, Turkmen squeezed it through to Temel. Sahin, Cicek, Dos Santos hot on the press. Temel, Turkmen had a yard, Cooper had the block, and Ibrahim got across. Moreland with a timeout slip. Turkmen with a corner. Pimenta this time picked it off, but wasn't able to go end to end. Every single touch under the microscope. What have these teams got left in the tank? Are the benches about to be a moment?
And mind you, all benches are up on their feet. There is not one player or manager who has sat down.
Postelakis gathered, went quickly for Pimenta. As the MVP perhaps got his most valuable piece for the last few minutes. Ibrahim, Cooper. Charging at Sahin, who quickly came across the block. Dos Santos with one that's hot to handle. Kept his cool and nodded it back for Postelakis. Adam Cooper on for Ibrahim. Pimenta's charging, as is Dos Santos. Ibrahim for Cooper. Away from Turkmen! Flashed his effort wide.
He knows that both power and placement is the only way to beat Murray tonight. His shot just cannons off the backboard.
Cicek on the spin and then took a tumble. Hume appeals, fall on deaf ears. Cooper, clip for Pimenta, dropped it off for Dos Santos. Kevin Dos Santos drawing Turkmen, on for Cooper. Adam Cooper, Dos Santos had a yard momentarily. Oh! And it was ever so close. Murray made the intervention and Moreland will now have that timeout. We are locked level. 3 apiece as when we come back, we're heading down the stretch.
We're the Champ Hunters Div 1 Tuesdays. We should not be in Div 1, but nevertheless, we lost 8-3 today, but we're missing Alex Beckers. Send him hate. If you know who he is, please send him hate, and that's it.
Well, that's exactly right, James. Going on with that. Our gaffer, we've had a gaffer, for the whole team, and then he hasn't rocked up. Last 2 weeks, Lucas smashed.
We return from timeout. 2:20 to find a winner. In the Turkish derby, Adam Cooper is going 5th man, and Moreland are throwing the kitchen sink at it. A season-saving stretch is all on the line. The crown, perhaps, is being put on the line too. Hasn't slipped off the reigning champion's head just yet, but they can see it in the mirror. And thus, to stop the slide, have to secure 3 points. Barakli behind Dos Santos and Hume hold out. They hold out once again. And now Fernando Dimores wants timeout. Unsure of who to give it to. Hume are urging, absolutely urging, and they will get their wish. One follows another. It hasn't changed, and where one team saw out the other's attack, they get to launch one of their own. Still 3-3 as we go to the timeout.
Harry, you know who you are. You better sleep with one eye open tonight because we're coming for you, mate. You better sleep with one eye open, Lucas Mara. You know who you are.
I brought the boys over, and we're all former NPL players. If they really want to sign us, yeah, no, we thought we'd take our talents to futsalers, and
Well, that's exactly right.
it's absolutely fantastic. And the place is an institution, so we thought we might as well. And that's that.
That's exactly right, James. That's it. It's not hard, it's just that we're struggling to find our feet. I think the lack of fitness is really affecting our team. Joining halfway through the season wasn't most ideal, but you know what? We've come across a couple wins and we're doing decent within the team. You know, there's a lot of politics within the team and problems here and there. And you know, when you got families paying 7, 8, 9 grand, it's not on. But yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Well, you know, for Social League Div 1, we thought this would be all right, but it's a much higher standard than we thought, and we're not quite equipped for it, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we definitely are.
We return from timeout. No more can be utilised. It is as it is. It is down the stretch. And whoever fancies the winner, now is the time to go and get it. Turkman on for Suede. What have Hume got? Dos Santos can block.
Minute 42 left on the clock. Each second crucial. Hume really fancy their chances. The Blues, much of the same. Cooper has the fly kit on. Postolakis jostles off. They now have 5 on-court players. 2 of the champions. Rolling the dice. All in on green. Pimenta. Dos Santos. Will they remain patient? Will they blink and try go the overzealous pass? Pimenta swiftly moving on for D'Souza. Gets it back. Pimenta orchestrating the move. Ibrahim. Cooper back towards Dos Santos, who has to rekindle quickly. Goes central. D'Souza. Great strength. Backed into Cicek. And the official says his elbow was used. And he goes into the book.
That might be the moment, just as Moreland were building pressure. Robson, D'Souza, you could see rode with a lot of force that challenge from Cicek. And it's just a flying elbow that catches him. And it concedes a play when you really, really don't want to.
Postolakis back on. Temel just inside his attacking half. Central as you can get. The position of the dead ball. The captain approaches it to shoot. Postolakis had to dive to save. How will Fernando de Moraes set up this corner? Glenara's coming short. Flicking was Turkman for Temel off the volley. It had the direction, just not the elevation required. We're in our final minute. Cooper has the fly kit on. He loves leaving things late. It might be one of those scenarios yet again. Right before the final whistle. Pimenta. Ibrahim. Adam Cooper. Had to go for Ibrahim. Goes back towards Cooper. They exchange possession. Movement from D'Souza. Here is Robson D'Souza. There is Enrique Pimenta. And there is the moment for the Moreland Blues, and it's their MVP who casts his bow and fires true. The champions formulate the response fitting of their crown jewel and are in front.
Enrique Pimenta, pinpoint as ever. The archer might just have sunk the Black Army into surrender, but they've gone fifth in retreat. Gab Murray, could he have another moment like last week, or are Moreland about to ride it out? 5 seconds. It's all on this. Hume to snatch it, or does the dread continue? Deflected off Temmel. They have a corner. They have to be perfect. Time perhaps has expired. Clanaris, and that'll do. That will do. Moreland will yet again survive a scare against their Turkish foes. The Blues were rocked, they were rattled, they were 3-2 down, and Enrique Pimenta, who breathes a sigh of relief, is their saviour. The MVP's most valuable goal of the season so far is one which might just have kept them, Adam, in the title race.
What a game. What a cracking game of futsal. The Blues were tense throughout it. They're all smiles after after the full-time whistle, rather, but what a way to kick off the round. 4-3 the final score. It was a brilliant performance from both sides. Real claims to really have the spoils shared, but Ethan, many narratives in this considering it was such a brilliant performance, especially from Hume, although they will come away with nothing in terms of points. The attitude and the performance they played at certainly has to hold them with something in that they're building, and building well and true.
It's a level of a team striving for survival. To climb off the foot, they will have to wait another 7 days, full time from a dramatic, from a delightful opener in Darabin. It's Moreland 4, Hume 3.
Yeah, we're working on it. We're improving the arsenal, and we'll get there. We'll get there day by day. We'll adjust.
Unfinished business.
It's 2 words. Disappointment. Disappointment. But there's room for improvement, and that's it, man. That's it.
Well, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Signing off.
Signing off, James Daniel, starting captain, striker.
Yeah, and send hate to Alex Beckers and Lucas Maraha.
Like clockwork.
Ibrahim. Lovely again. Pimenta, Murray off his line. Robson de Souza. Big stop from the Queenslander, who is down.
Ibrahim's control. Off the volley, it's a brilliant save from Murray. He follows up again like Superman. As Cooper through the traffic to Santos. Again, it's Murray off the line somehow.
We're the Chair Punters Div 1 Tuesdays. We should not be in Div 1, but nevertheless, we lost 8-3 today, but we're missing Alex Beckers. Send him hate. If you know who he is, please send him hate, and that's it.
Well, that's exactly right, James. Going on with that. Our gaffer, we've had a gaffer, for the whole team, and then he hasn't rocked up. Last 2 weeks, Lucas Smarry.
Tonight's second instalment is one which poses pivotal importance. Two teams both at a crossroad in their seasons, and ones which they need to make the right turns from, because the horizon ahead out of the relegation scrap could become increasingly clear. Away from the safety is the paranoia, is the peril, and is the scrutiny of microscopic proportions that everything is placed on in the playoffs and in the relegation battle. And Pascoe Vale were hoping to be clear of that by now. Still only 5 points from Moreland, but they are also only a matter of points ahead of tonight's opponents, really sandwiched in the middle of the division. Tonight is the one where they either pull away or they get dragged right back into it. The same can be said for Northern Phoenix as Michael Newen hits the bar inside the early exchanges.
The Mad Cat just drifting wide to receive from Carter. And over the top, really makes Michael Newen just utilise his height as his header gushes the crossbar.
Biliansky had Caro on the press, went back to Henderson, who was superb last week against Thornbury. A real game changer. Stelitano went back for Biliansky. Had Sapina on the switch. Henderson. Now for Sapina. Went down the line, Biliansky, not around Caro, who nipped in and picked his pocket. Went on for Evangelista, who had runners left and right, and Henderson came across to shut the door.
Nonchalant. That's a great way to describe Henderson. The way in which last week he just used his shoulder, Ethan, or his upper chest area rather, to guide the ball in for against Thornbury for the Northern Phoenix. And well, he's that type of player. Flair, excitement. He's also a very cool and calm customer.
Stelitano. Here is Sapina. Northern Phoenix's Spanish sensation. Henderson. Down the line for Stelitano, who wanted the return. Henderson ahead of Curadate, who made the block. Out for Stelitano. The sting taken out of it, so Evangelista can clear. And Maurizio Novak might find himself in the book rather early for that. Evangelista had one boot hanging off. Maurizio Novak trying to lay down the law to one of the officials.
Maurizio Novak has his final warning. And we're not even 2 minutes played. So a tightrope already being walked for Pascoe Vale.
Evangelista, boot back on foot. He's able to hook it away. Pascoe Vale gaffer right now just have to watch himself a little bit when it comes to his words. Already on a final warning with plenty of this game left. And it was a fixture which last time ended 3-3, and it ended a bit hotly too. Biliansky dropped it back for Henderson. On for Sapina. Henderson once more. Curadate was on the press. Stelitano has Andre Caro to go at. His touch was heavy. Invited Newen to take over. Couldn't squeeze it away. Curadate. Stelitano relentless. Cut it back for Sapina. Caro came across and Newen thumped his clearance away. But Northern Phoenix nearly made something out of nothing.
Since the early scare, Pascoe Vale